I would like to give a little bit of background regarding this specific photograph. This is the only photograph that I staged on purpose. There are other photos that were taken of me by different people, but myself and the other American girl who escaped before me from Bartres staged this photo. She's the one who clipped the picture. Idea how frustrating it is when you have two languages combating in your head at the same time. All right. Her and I staged that photo. She's not in the photo. The American girl that I spoke of in previous uploads, the one that they put in solitary confinement, the one that they mistreated, the one that they physically prevented from leaving. And she got in a physical altercation with the older girl that was there because they wouldn't let her leave. She kept trying to run and they kept chasing her down and physically stopping her. I was witnessing all this at the time. I hadn't even really spoken to her yet at that point. I didn't get to talk to her really until after her solitary confinement. However long that was, I can't remember. It was a long time though. I think it was 3 months they did that to her. And she's the one that got away at the annual festival on the Hill of Saluzzo. Some people can smuggle their kids out there if they're smart about it and if they know what's going on. Now, luckily, her family already planned on getting her out when they showed up at the festival there. So she disappeared pretty quickly after all of that. And again, I haven't been able to find her, track her down online or anything. I'm hoping eventually I will. She'll come across these, but she's the one who snapped that photo. I'm the one who arranged the girls the way that they are in this photo. And I did it on purpose. And I laid across the bottom of the base on purpose. Stuck my hand up on purpose and smiled on purpose. I was suffering tremendously on this day and during just that entire time, that entire imprisonment. But I smiled on purpose. I put my hand up on purpose like that. I laid across the base on purpose. And I asked her to snap the photo on purpose. We were the only two American girls in that house, which was a lot for Bartres because Bartres is a really small house. They don't have a lot of Americans in there back when I was in there. And they keep us spread out usually so that we don't really have contact with each other for the most part. But I was in a couple different houses with other Americans. But at the time in Bartres, it was just her and I. And she got out, like I said, she would have, the festival that she escaped from was July of 2007. No, I'm sorry, June. I escaped July of 2007. She escaped June. This keeps happening, guys. The order of events are so jumbled in my head. Not the events themselves, the order of them. All right, so we were in Bartres together, her and I. That was when I found out I was going to be transferred from Bartres to Italy. So that would have been 2006. Okay, so we are July-ish 2006 is when she escaped. That was way before me. The reason I was confusing the order was it was a few weeks after the fest in 2007. I escaped officially from Sivigliano. So that's why they're jumbled in my head. But she escaped a year before me, not a month, a year. It was an entire year before. She was 06. And I was 07. It was July 07, but it was after the festival. I planned my escape originally for the fest. So, like I had said, I had been planning it in Sivigliano, my Sivigliano escape. I'm not talking about my attempted escape from Lourdes or after that when Elvira first got me out. Most difficult escape from Sivigliano and came back to America. My original plan was to escape at the festival. I remember being very, very worried that Irena was going to keep me from going at all, even though she knew nobody would be coming to see me. She knew I wouldn't have any family there, and that I never did. So she knew that wasn't going to be an issue. I kind of thought she would have been smarter than to let me go in the first place. But again, it's not as easy as you think it would be to escape from the Hill of Saluzzo at the festival either, even when people from the outside are there, the parents, because like I said, you're already so controlled and conditioned from everything they've done to you before they let you go to one of those. All right, it's usually the following year after you enter that they'll let you go to one of them, unless it's 6 months out or something. But it's very difficult because there's just a sea of people, a whole sea of people. And it's so loud. And then they've got all the world beats and everything else they've got going on in the background with their other stuff. And before they do the rituals and recitals and all these other things on the stage and everything else that most people are unaware of what they're actually doing there. You're allowed to be with your family members alone there. unless you're somebody really, really high up that they know it's not going to be a problem with. You have this controlled, monitored time. These people like babysit adults with their parents at this once-a-year festival. I mean, it is so over the top. It is so extreme. So my original escape plan, they were forcing me on stage. All right, they were forcing me on stage at this festival, and they were doing it in a mocking way, and Arena set it up on purpose. This was to humiliate and mock me and my country, frankly.
On me, create the riddles portrayed. I'm civil, I'm safe, a little, oh yes indeed. It's plain and simple, I'm far from brittle, unbreakable, you following. Bruce Willis in a train wreck. I'm like trading any car for a new jet. I'm like having your boss getting upset cause you asked him for less on your paycheck. I'm like doing headstands with a broken neck, like watching a kid take his first steps. I'm like saying Bill Gates get a variant cause he's too broke. Where am I going with this? Unbelievable. Yes, yes, inconceivable. See myself as fairly reasonable, but at times I can be stubborn. So if I have to, I will rock the boat. I don't tend to take the easy road, that's just not the way I like to roll. What you think's probably unfeasible, I've done already 100-fold. 100-fold, it's probable that I might press the envelope. Body's so astronomical, sometimes I find it comical. Yeah, incomparable, replay value phenomenal. Beat selection remarkable, slowing me down impossible. I don't really rock no rollies, I don't hang around no phonies. I don't really got no trophies, I don't know why God chose me. Got something in the cup, ain't codeine. Changed my style, they told me. Now they come around like homie. Man, y'all better back up slowly, back up slowly. Who are you kidding? How could you doubt me? I've always delivered. Ripping the teeth out of the back of my mouth. The closest you get to my wisdom. See my